Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and we've got a testing RLUSD, real USD from Ripple. We're excited to share that Ripple USD is now a private beta on XRP Ledger and Ethereum mainnet. RLUSD has not received regulatory approval and therefore is not available for purchase or trading. Please be cautious of scammers who claim they have or can distribute Ripple USD. This is a significant milestone and a step closer to bringing more high-quality assets to the XRP ledger, driving new opportunities, liquidity, and institutional use cases for users, developers, applications. RLUSD will be valued 1-to-1 to the US dollar, 100% backed by US dollar deposits, short-term U.S. government treasuries, and other cash equivalents. These reserve assets will be audited by a third-party accounting firm. You mean audited, unlike Tether? And Ripple will publish monthly attestations. So it's going to be audited and attestations. All you're getting with Tether is attestations. Here's Monica Long to talk about stablecoins.
I'm up for the challenge. I'm up for the test. I'm Monica Long, and this is Crypto in 1 minute. A stablecoin is a token on a blockchain that represents some sort of real-world currency. So, for example, dollars, that's a very popular version of a stablecoin. And the important thing about a stablecoin is that there's a 1-to-1 peg between the tokens that are represented on the blockchains and what is held in a reserve account. So that's what makes it stable. And people really like stablecoins. They've become very useful in the world of digital currencies because one, it's a way that you can hold US dollars if you don't have access to a traditional bank account. Two, it's a way to efficiently buy other assets in the world of crypto. And then three, it's also a way to trade. It's very useful for trading to limit volatility. And so that is all.
She did it. Okay, then we have, now even CoinDesk and Cointelegraph are covering this. Ripple said it has begun testing its new stablecoin RLUSD on XRP Ledger and Ethereum mainnet. Cointelegraph's the first test of its US dollar pegged stablecoin RLUSD have been announced by Ripple. See, as long as CoinDesk and Cointelegraph, as long as it's no threat to either Bitcoin or Ethereum, they're fine with covering it. They want to blow it up. If this was XRP and something having to do with XRP, they wouldn't be blowing this up. These tests are on the XRP ledger and Ethereum mainnets. According to Ripple Labs, the stablecoin would be over-collateralized. This means each unit of RLUSD is backed by USD reserves or short-term cash equivalents in a bank. Maintain a 1-to-1 ratio with US dollar. Ripple has promised third-party audits and the underlying cash. So once again, Ripple, and you could add Circle in there, they're the most transparent people in the industry. So when you're transparent and you're not hiding anything, the SEC goes after you. That's the interesting part. And then this from Chad Steingraber.
I absolutely agree. I think we badly need prudential regulation that requires congressional action right now. You just can't fit, today's new innovation into archaic definitions and archaic rules. So we definitely need new regulation, and hopefully something like a stablecoin bill gets passed, if not this year, early next year.
I think the reason we haven't seen legislation is because it's actually harder than people expect. You know, you look at stablecoins right now, there are many paths to becoming a stablecoin issuer. You can get a New York State trust charter. You can get a national bank trust charter. You can get a Wyoming or Nebraska special purpose depository institution charter. You can go the Circle route and get, money transmitter licenses, right? And so I think the questions that folks on the Hill are dealing with right now is, how many of those options should we preserve? And then you get into issues around what states are doing and things of that nature. And so, this, when you get into the details, it's actually not that simple. And I think that's kind of where some of the negotiations between Chair Waters and Congressman McHenry broke down. So, I'm not in the prediction business, but if it hasn't happened yet, I'm kind of skeptical that it'll happen anytime soon.
It is fascinating that there is no national money transmitter ability. You have to get 50 states or become a bank. It's shocking when you try to explain this to other countries, to Europe or other places. You say, well, we don't have a national insurance charter. We don't have a national money transmission charter. This is the United States of America.
Yeah.
And it's been that way for a long time.
Talk to my friends at CS.
Okay. Then we've got this, Mark Cuban and Anthony Scaramucci, they've been telling us that there's going to be this reset, and the Democrats they've been meeting with them, and they're going to have a reset, and all of a sudden you're going to get better policies out of them. And then Gary has subpoenaed 3 crypto VCs in a signed crackdown gaining pace. Anthony Scaramucci is apparently now starting to realize that he's been full of crap. Just like we've been saying, he is on a mission to lose the Democrats the presidential election. It is a shame to watch happening at such a critical time. Mr. I lose every court case, a man who has destroyed the SEC. SEC subpoenas 3 crypto VCs and signed crackdown is gaining pace. Well, Anthony, it's not Gary. It's Elizabeth Warren. Let's watch this. You remember the meeting that was had the other day? Watch this. This is them talking about it on Yahoo Finance.
Executives were attending a video call with top White House officials today, discussing concerns with how the current administration treats the industry. Yahoo Finance's David Hollerith and Ben Werschel join us for more. Guys, it is good to see you. David, I'll start with you. What was the point of this meeting, David? What was the goal here?
Well, Josh, the crypto industry has been calling for a reset under the current administration. And I think there's also the element of the presidential campaign at play here. And also the fact that Donald Trump has come out in support of the sector, has really embraced it in the last several, I guess, year, you would say. So this was really industry executives meeting with current administration officials and also a representative for Vice President Harris.
And Ben, go ahead. Sorry, Dave.
All right. Yeah. So the point was really for them to air out their grievances under the current administration, the industry, and certain regulators, the SEC most prominently, have been at odds in some disputes. And it was about airing out those concerns and then also moving forward into ways that the industry could feel more supported, if that makes sense.
Well, and Ben, what's interesting here, too, is there is so much speculation about the presidential campaign and their relationships, the candidates' relationships with the crypto industry. But this seems like it didn't have anything to do with the Harris campaign.
Yeah, I mean, the way I would look at it is kind of a first step. This is kind of a multi-pronged, call it a charm offensive, call it whatever you want, between crypto and the Democrats. Well, we had this meeting this week. We also have a meeting coming up next week, which is a larger crypto for Harris. We've seen all these big Zoom meetings since Harris got in the race. Black women for Harris, white dudes for Harris, and now next week we'll have crypto for Harris. So I think this will continue to evolve, and this was a kind of, as Dave said, was a kind of first step in airing of grievances with the White House side that we'll see continue in the weeks ahead.
David, I'm curious, did SEC Chair Gensler come up on the call at all? Do we know?
He did. We know, at least from a source familiar with the matter, that at least one person on the call brought that up. And generally, how the federal securities regulator has sort of been working with the sector, or
okay, so basically, everybody was mad in the meeting, and I want to remind everybody, this was the article about the meeting. Crypto executives clash. Remember this section right here? Another tense moment occurred when Adeyemo, that's Wally Adeyemo, he's the guy that works at the Treasury, as I recall, okay, told attendees that banks and regulators were not actively trying to cut the industry off from the broader financial system. In response, a crypto executive asked those on the call for a show of hands of whose firms have been denied banking services because of White House policies. According to two attendees, nearly all the industry representatives raised their hands. Well, I have a good memory. I can see around corners. And
how is it right now that Hamas...
Do you remember who... This is Wally Adeyemo, same guy that's in the meeting for this supposed reset, and he's telling everyone, no, we're not trying to do that. In other words, Elizabeth Warren, who is a liar, has put another liar up there in the Treasury or the White House, wherever he is, to help lie for her. He's one of her minions. She literally sent him. He's a part of Operation Choke Point 2.0. He's one of the people that was sent by Elizabeth Warren.
How is it right now that Hamas has access to money or some form of financing for themselves?
They are increasingly, in my view, turning to alternative means of financing, given what we've done in terms of their ability to do the traditional financial system.
So what does it mean, alternative means of financing?
One of those is cryptocurrency.
See, she set him up with the question. You know that she coordinated the questions and answers with him the same way she did Gary Gensler, because he's one of her guys. This guy's part of the thing, and he's the one that's in the meeting for the supposed reset, trying to act like he doesn't know what they're talking about. These people are a bunch of liars. You can't trust them.
As a means that while we're using every tool we have, we need additional tools to go after.
Okay, and it's not just Hamas and terrorists that are using crypto financing. North Korea, ransomware gangs, drug traffickers, distributors of child sexual abuse materials. Name your bad guy. And
you mean like the way J.P. Morgan that you work with was banking Jeffrey Epstein and had guys going to his island that worked for him?
Crypto is the way that they can move money around.
As Deputy Secretary of Treasury, I nominate Wally Adeyemo. Wally is, Wally, I don't know. I tell you what, Senator Warren really likes you. She highly recommended you, but I wasn't sure she worried.
Yeah, no, she told Biden, this is my guy that I'm sending up here because we had a deal that I would step out of the presidential race and you had to let me be in charge of anything financial at the White House, in the Treasury, the SEC. That's what's going on here, folks. Then we've got this from CoinDesk. XRP order books on U.S. exchanges are now 30% more liquid than their offshore counterparts, according to whoever that is, marking a case for whales to shift to stateside exchanges. And then we have this, VanEck CEO, who is a Bitcoin maxi.
Which do you like better, Bitcoin or Ethereum?
Bitcoin.
What's your
I'm a gold
price?
guy.
Okay.
I'm a gold guy.
Give me your price target for the longer term with Bitcoin, because right now at about 63,000, where do you see it going?
Right. So about a year ago, I started pounding the table because eventually the Fed is going to start easing here. That's great for gold and that's for Bitcoin. What I said is Bitcoin is growing up and will be eventually half the total market cap of gold. So that's about 350,000. So quite a ways to go from here. The super bulls, if central banks adopt it and, it's part of the monetary system, then, in the millions, but I don't like to talk about that too much.
What, more than 2 million, more than 3?
Yeah, like 2.9, we've got some model, which is...
2.9 million. Okay, we've got more shocking stuff. This is, we've already shown like the smoking gun twice. This is smoking gun part 3, I think. And this gets worse and worse and worse. And then we've got something else that just popped up in the news that we can't talk about out here, which is like, oh my gosh. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Away we go.